Check it out, I'm gonna tell y'all a story about my homie and this girl, you know what I'm saying? Some love triangle type shit. We gonna rock this shit right here. Dope beat too, you know what I'm saying? We about to run through this. So yo, check it out. Smooth, you drop the vocals and I smoke his ass.
What's up, you guys? This is Clifford 100 Brown. I'm here to do a review of AllEyezOnMe Biopic. I'm gonna make this quick. I'm gonna try not to keep y'all here long. I felt like the movie was rushed. The movie was lazy. Pac was all about books. He was all about reading books. He was all about Black consciousness. He was all about speaking about things that were actually happening, not just in his raps, but outside of raps, in his interviews. I felt like they left out that part. They left out the fact that Tupac loved kids, and he was always about, pleasing the kids and making sure the kids love him. He was all about that. You see it in the photographs on the internet, him taking pictures with the fans and stuff. I didn't see that in the film. I felt like the movie was rushed. It was focused on him going to jail, him, his career, and it kept flipping back and forth like it was like TV, like channels. I just did not like the way it was presented, Now, as far as the act, what I did like is that they selected a good, track list of, songs. That was kind of what masked the poor quality of the movie, was the fact that they had some of his good music playing and some of his music playing. But other than that, I just did not get the spirit. I knew that it was going to be a disappointment. And Afeni did not approve of this movie, you guys. She did not approve of it. Okay? And the thing is, all of the fans know that if you know truthabouttupac.com and machiavelliboard.net, they were actually 4 or 5 years prior to this movie's release, they were working on this film. And it was not the original, it was not L.T. Hutton doing this at the time. It was other people. Other people was going to direct this film. Afeni Shakur wanted John Singleton to direct the film. And I'm going to get to him in a minute. I'm going to talk about him in a minute. But they wanted John Singleton to do the film because he had the blessing, because he had more experience. But they just went against the whole deal. So then they tried to sue Miss Afeni Shakur. Now, first thing first, and I'm going to address Game too, the rapper, The Game, because if you're a fan of Tupac, if anybody touches or disrespected his mother, you know for a fact they disrespected him too. So the fact that they sued this woman just to have the rights to her son to make this movie, that right there was a red flag. So I saw the movie on bootleg. I didn't go to the theaters. I saw it on bootleg online, and I don't give a fuck if they take it down. I don't care. But I saw it online, Footlocker, and I just was disappointed because I was expecting my mind to go crazy. I was expecting so much. I was expecting them to elaborate him. Oh, he read books. He read Machiavelli. They didn't show me anything he did productive as far as mind-wise, because Pop was about consciousness. They didn't show me where he made a speech at the Malcolm X grassroots, where he talked about what we need to be doing for the community. They didn't show me that. They didn't show me in the interviews he was speaking about what needs to be done to improve Black youth and all of that. They didn't show me any of that. They didn't show me when Layla Steinberg grinded with him from the time he was young all the way till he got that chance to Digital Underground. That was a lengthy time period. Now, it may have been a year or so, but I don't know how long it was, between that time, but I know that Layla has been with Tupac for a while. You know, and even after he got signed and went to Death Row and went to Interscope and all that, he still was in touch with Lady Steinberg. Why is she only seen once in the film? I just felt that this movie was rushed and lazied, and it wasn't blessed by Tupac's family. You know, Set did not have a say so in this movie. Mopreme did not have a say so in this movie, and I was really upset when I found out the Outlaws was in this movie, because they didn't even elaborate on how the Outlaws got together and how they was formed. So this movie was completely I just can't believe it, man. It disappointed me, man. And I'm a true Tupac fan. We're talking to somebody who got the most. I feel like out of all the people that listen to his music, I got the most out of it, because every one of his songs took me back to a book. Remember what I told you. And when you listen to Holla If You Hear Me, he says, so we live like caged beasts, waiting for the day to let the rage free. Still me till they kill me. I love it when they feel me. Holla if you hear me. I love it when they fear me. You know, excuse me. But when he said we live like caged beasts, that took me back to Roots. If you read the book Roots, we did live like caged beasts. Our ancestors did live like caged beasts, waiting for the day to let the rage free. You know what I mean? So I got the most out of his music, because I compared his music ever since I was young. I was 5 years old. You gotta think, I'm 22 years of being a fan of him. I'm 27 now, so I've been a fan since I was 5. Used to walk like him, talk like him, act like him, try to even, rap like him and stuff. But I just felt this movie was just a complete waste, you know? And it's sad for me to say, because I love Pac. You know, I'm willing to die for that man. But the fact that they presented his movie in this way, I just that's not fair. To me, that's not fair. Chuck Phillips, all the people, you know, that grinded with him, that interviewed him, these people were not contacted. It's so many people that were involved in his life that we did not see in the movie. And his brother Mopreme and Set, they didn't even get a say so. I mean, and we still don't know if this money, all this supposedly money that they got from this movie, we don't even know if that is going to his estate. You know? So, like I said, the movie was bad to me, but it wasn't a complete fail. The only reason why I say that is because they at least played his music, and so I really did like that. They, you know, Demetrius, the guy who played Tupac, even though I felt he didn't look completely like him, he did a good job on the acting. The woman that played his mother, Afeni, she did good acting. The actors did a good job. It just, the presentation and the way it was put together was just so poor. It was just poor, you know. So my takeaway from it is that it just lacked. It lacked, you know. They didn't even show Shock G and Tupac actually speaking on a conscious level, because they did that. There's rare footage. There's a lot of rare footage out there. They didn't even show how Tupac got his tattoos. That's crazy. I know. See, because all right, the cross tattoo that Tupac got on his back, that is Nat Turner, 1831, when Nat Turner was executed by his slave masters during the rebellion. So the actual cross, he took a cross from one of the pendants, and then he, you know, made that into a tattoo. I guess he drew it out. You know, I have the original stencils that he did. I have a photograph of that. You know, I kept that secret for email, but I'm gonna release that soon. But he drew that out, and then he took a Bob Marley album cover, which it was Exodus at the time, because he really was a big fan of reggae. He took that, and then he took 1831, and he mixed that together and made the tattoo. Now he so it would be a multiple definition of his multiple meanings for his tattoo. Exodus is Greek for going out, and it is also Bob Marley's album title. And 1831 is the year that Nat Turner, a former slave, rebelled against, the slave owners and led a massive rebellion. So it was a combination of all that, and that cross was to embody the sacrifice that Black people have made to pioneer the new generation, to act as a hero to the new generation. So I personally, but anyway, he got that tattoo, I think, from Dago, Coelho Dago. There's a guy in Texas who owns a tattoo shop called Dago Tattoos. And I do actually have a photograph that I found. It was a rare photograph of Dago tattooing in Tupac's tattoo shop. So he did get that, and he was tattooed in that by this guy for a couple of times. He did his heartless tattoo. He did the back cross tattoo, and then he also did, I think the Smile Now Cry Later, and he did a couple of others too. And then Trust Nobody. Look, I have Trust Nobody. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me see if I can. That cross, crown, Trust Nobody. That Tupac has that same one in the exact same spot, in right inner arm. Tupac got that tattoo from Andy Neville's tattoo shop. And a lot of people don't know that, but if you go back and watch the Tupac Resurrection film, you'll see that he walked in Andy Neville's tattoo shop to get the crown and add it to the Trust Nobody tattoo. So, but I been knew that, even before the movie came out, I knew, that's what he was getting, and but just to be clear, I don't know. The movie just didn't do us justice, because it should have been so much more. I felt like when we got Malcolm X's movie, it brought us closer to Malcolm X, and it made us want to read his autobiography more. I actually read the autobiography before I even watched the film. I didn't watch the film until after I read it, and I read his autobiography in jail, but I didn't finish it. And when I became adult, I later, found the autobiography again, thanks to my library, and I read the whole thing, and it changed my life. I read that, and Machiavelli's The Prince. I read that, Straight Outta Compton. But just to get back on the subject, Straight Outta Compton was also good, because it was blessed. You know what I mean? It received that blessing of Ice Cube and all of them. They actually blessed to have his son, do the film. You know what I mean? So that's why I think it did real good. And even Biggie's movie, Biggie's mom was a part of the production process of the Biggie movie, Notorious. So that's why I think that movie was a bit more successful than this All Eyez on Me, because they did not receive Afeni's blessing And the people that were involved in it were not even, it just did not have that atmosphere. And because of that and other obvious factors, that's why the movie, I think, shrunk and did not, resonate with the rest of the pop fans. So I personally think it's just all bad because it did not capture us to make us see Tupac in a better light, because he was more than just that career. He was all about getting people to think. And even me, I don't even see him as a rapper. I don't even see Tupac as a rapper. I see him as a thinker. He just thinks well. He speaks and it happens to go with the rhythm of the beat. That's it. Other than that, I don't see him as a rapper. I think he's a hip hop artist / thinker. He's somebody who thinks very good. We could compare him to a Leonardo da Vinci, or if you want to use modern times, we could compare him to Robert Greene, the author of 48 Laws of Power, because all he talked about was trying to be a king or trying to think, revolutionize thinking. So I just thought the film did not embody his spirit. And because of that, I didn't get that energy that I usually get when I listen to Tupac's music and stuff like that. I didn't get that energy when I watched this film. So despite the fact that it had good actors and it was, it had his music in it, it just did not, it did not resonate with me. It did not, it left out so much. It's so much left out. I hope no one of this generation actually takes that film as that's his life. That's not his complete life. He was more, he wanted you to study actually and know who he was. It was bigger than that. It was all about thinking and making the right decisions. It's just that Pac was in a place where you can't escape the glam and the glory and all that. And, he was just in a rock and a hard place. And dealing with, that much pressure, of course, you're going to be tested. But, and then there's some parts of the film where I just felt like some things that were said and things that were done. I'm not going to say too much. This is all I'm going to say because I don't want to spoil it for everybody else. But in the film, I see Tupac smoking cigarettes damn near the whole film. I don't see Tupac, but I see the actor, Demetrius, smoking cigarettes, throughout the film. And here's what I have to say about that. Because those of us who know Pac, the Pac that we know, and the people that know him know, is that Pac did not smoke cigarettes that much. He did it every now and then, but he did not smoke it 90% of his life. He smoked weed 90% of his life until he had to go back to court because he was on probation. He was on released probation when he got bailed out with Suge. He was on probation. And the judge was going to revoke his bond. I'm 90% sure that the jail was going to revoke his bond because of his participation in the fight in the MGM, the casino. His bond was going to be revoked, and unfortunately, he got killed. He got shot on the 7th. He got killed on the September the 13th. But it's just the thing. I just can't get over the fact that they rushed this film. They took away his intelligence, his speaking power in interviews. They took all that away and just focused on a simple rags to riches story, a simple come up story. I'm not a big fan of that. I just didn't think that was real. That's not him. He's much more bigger than that. And I would tell each and every person coming into this generation, this is the man that got me to really have fun with reading books. Because even though my mom told me to read books and she taught me how to read and write, I felt like Pop really influenced me to go beyond that and go into history and go beyond that and go into Black consciousness as far as Malcolm X and Huey P. Newton and the Black Panthers. This was the man that actually forwarded me to that generation. If there was no Tupac, if I never heard of this guy, if I never actually listened to his music, if I never did any of that, I would never have learned about the Black Panthers, about any of that. Because they didn't teach us in school about the Black Panthers. I learned it because listening to his music and then finding out he was part of that atmosphere, and that his mother came from that atmosphere. And I found books that was hidden in the media center when I was in school. They were hidden in there. They were not supposed to be in the schools because it was still a controversial subject of Black Panther Party. So like I said, I think the movie was rushed. It did not embody his spirit. It did not capture his philosophy on life, his intelligence. It did not capture his relationship with children. It just did not. It was lazy. And like I said, the actors, they did what they can do. I don't blame them. Oh, one last thing before I end this video. I want to say something about John Singleton. Okay. John Singleton is a great guy. Don't believe everything you hear. He's a great guy, okay? He did an interview with Noriega where he was asked, did Tupac get raped in jail? Now, I don't like the fact that he did not answer that question. He danced around the question and said there were a lot of things that was not documented. And he also was asked, is it true that he was gonna film a scene of Tupac getting raped in jail? And he danced around that question. I was very upset with that, because if you watch Tupac in his own words in the Vibe interview say that he never been raped in jail, he would die, or he would die before he'd be raped in jail. He said he broke kids that. Go watch the Vibe interview. I think it was in 1996 or 1995. The Vibe interview. It's a video on YouTube. Watch that, and then also watch in Sway's interview when he talked about when Chino XL said that he got raped in jail. Then also more evidence. Listen to that song "Why You Turn on Me," an unreleased song, where he dissed Wendy Williams for making that up, because Wendy Williams got on a radio station and lied to say he got raped in jail. He dissed her twice. He dissed her once in that song, and then he dissed her the second time in Watch Your Mouth. So Tupac never got raped in jail. He made that clear. He said out of his own mouth. And I don't think he's somebody that would lie about that, because that's not something you lie about. So the fact that they was trying to ruin his image for the longest. So, but I'm very upset with John Singleton for that. John Singleton is a good guy, like I said, but the fact that he did not have the conscience to say that Tupac never been raped in jail, the fact that he did not answer that question right then where he should have, that kind of is fucked up. That's fucked up. You know what I mean? And LT Hutton, It's fucked up, people. But we're here. You know, we the fans are here. Pac's mom knew who I was. She knows of me. She knew who I was. Fatal, Big Sight, they knew who I was, you know? And we're here to keep Pac's legacy alive. You know, whether people like it or not, I'm a participant in his music. His fans are a participant in his legacy, and it is important people understand that he was more than just a rapper. He was somebody that was a voice that spoke up. Because a lot of people will talk about the black life, but they don't want to live it. He was the person who actually lived it, saw it, and he talked about it. You got people who live it and see it, but won't even talk about it. What type of shit is that? You know, but you know, if you want my long story short, the movie was, I won't say it was whack, but it was kind of a fail because it did not receive the blessing, and it did not capture his spirit. Last thing I want to show you guys, and I know this video is long, but rare merchandise. You cannot find this on Amazon. That's Tupac bookcase. See, it's a bookcase. Pac read books, so it looks like a book. That I bought this from somebody. It's a pen with a rose on it. Rose that grew from concrete. Every time I write lyrics, I think about it. What else? See this? It's a photo I drew. Tupac, Malcolm X. Microphone and pen. This looks familiar because Pac drew on his manila folder back in 1991 of May 25th. And this is the back of it. Tupac, world's best lyricist. He drew that. Look it up. Type it in Google. Tupac manila folder. I drew the replica. I'm not finished with it. Not finished. It's a tribute. Last but not least, I think people should read this book again. African Woman, the Original Guardian Angel. It's by Dr. Ishaka Musa Barashango. And, study Black consciousness, people. We got to read these books. We got to be, we got to be the spark brain to change the world. And please stop saying that there will never be another Tupac. Stop saying that, because he wants us all to learn from him and actually embody his intellect. And stop saying there will never be another Malcolm X, because we all can be Malcolm X. We all have the intelligence. If you got a brain, use it. If you got a mouth, speak it. So in that terms, we all could we may not be him, but we all can be students and learn from somebody. That's the video. That's all I got to say, guys. Thank you. And the movie, that's all I got to say. Is nah.
Like real niggas like Fred Hampton, real niggas like Mark Clark, real niggas like Malcolm X, real niggas like Harriet Tubman, real niggas like Sister Soldier, real niggas like the Underground Railroad. You know, y'all better watch out for these motherfuckers. Better knuckle up. Yeah, cause we ain't gonna be dressing and trying to rob you.